from the other side of reality. Men say he's cool and he makes the women drool.
Hello, kitty. Welcome to my tournament days of horror. I did even have no horror from the first to the third. Oh my god. Oh, hello. Oh, what a head rush. Hi. Oh my god. Hello. Welcome to my 31 days of horror. Hello. I am the demon. Now, if you're new here and you're wondering how come I look human, I was just a demon just now, I have to change to my human form because if I maintain my demon form for long periods of time, I attract demon hunters. And believe you and me, hello, I don't want demon hunters. Okay, so I transform to this beautiful human you see before you now to keep them at bay. So yes, hi, welcome to my 31 days of horror. We're on day 17. And I watched The Crow 2024. There is a song in the universe that certain humans can hear. It is the song of creation. And for some people, they're more attuned to it, can hear it louder than others. The song appeared to this one person one day, named James O'Barr. And this song that he heard was a song of sorrow and a song of revenge. And the song turned into a comic that he created called The Crow. A story of lost love and revenge. And years later, in the 90s, it was made into a movie starring the late, great Brandon Lee. I was very lucky to have seen the movie. Not in theaters, unfortunately. I saw it like in what you guys call tape, actually. And I loved it. And you know, it just hit me a certain way. The gothic look of it, the music, the writing, and it does hit me a certain way, especially if you lost someone and you watch it. It just hits you a certain way. It's just unbelievably good, and I fell in love with it, and it's a masterpiece, and I enjoyed it very greatly. After the movie came out, they made some sequels to it. We're just never any good. City of Angels was bad, and there's other ones that came out after it. Soon after they were done killing the Crow franchise, there was talks about making The Crow into a remake, and they've been trying to do this for years. At one point, Bradley Cooper was going to do it. So now here we are, the year 2024, it finally came out. And I wanted to see it because I was most curious about it. I heard it was very bad, and I was like, well, how bad can it be? And it's almost like I was going to go down a road, and this guy's like, you don't want to go down that road, lad. Are you sure? No, there's dangers over there. You don't want to do it. But I want to see, no, you don't, no, I'm going to go down there. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll go down. So yes, I went down the road. That was The Crow 2024. Doing a remake is a very tricky thing. You don't want to make it too much like the original, because then it's like, what's the point? But you don't want to make it too much not like the original, because then it's like, well, what the hell is this? So you kind of have to make this balancing act, where you kind of want to make it your own. Not all remakes are bad. Some of them actually are very good, and actually could be better than the original. For example, The Thing, that starring Russell Crowe, was a remake, and that's very, very good. Scarface with Al Pacino, that is also a remake, and that's also very, very good. But some remakes are very, very bad. And so, watching this one, I heard it was bad. So I'm kind of like, well, how bad can it be? I am most curious to see how it is. And yeah, it's not that good. It's not the worst thing I have seen, believe me, but compared to like The Crow or this movie by itself, it's pretty bad. The writing is bad. The pacing is kind of, at one point I found the movie kind of dull. I just didn't care for it. Now, it's kind of hard to talk about this movie and not compare it to the original. because it is a remake after all. However, it should be based on its own merits, but it's kind of hard not to, because this movie is different than the original. For example, you actually see more of Shelley in this one. In the original, Shelley, you only hear about Shelley in flashbacks. She's not in this world, in The Crow. In the remake, she actually is there. But, like, it's so weird. Like, okay, for example, the Shelley and Eric in this movie here, the remake, they meet at a reform school. At least that's what it used to be called back in my day. And she's drawn to Eric right away. And Eric in this movie here, he's tatted up. I mean, he's covered with tattoos to the point where it's almost like distracting. And it's a mishmash of tattoos. Like, you know, someone will have a sleeve, it kind of all like has one theme and it all kind of like goes together. But this one here, it's just seems like a bunch of randomness. It's almost like a child putting stickers on a white board. He got like lullaby over here, and he got like a star over here, and a bottle over here, and he got like Scooby-Doo on this arm, and He-Man on this arm, and like a Transformer. Like, it's just too much. And he takes his shirt off in this movie quite a bit, so the ladies might like that. But he's all tatted up, and it's almost like, this is way too much, dude. Like, wow. Okay? And Shelley doesn't have any tats at all, so that's really weird. So, yeah, so she and Eric meet at a reform school, and then she sees some people that are going to cause her some bad news. She wants to escape, and Eric is going to help her escape. And then he's like, well, you know, if you're going to escape, I'll just escape with you. And then they end up being together for like maybe like a week. And then Shelley's past comes back, and then she ends up getting taken out along with Eric, and all of a sudden Eric loves her. After only knowing her for like a week. Get out of town. And Eric in this movie is like a wimp, honestly. And another thing I didn't care much for this movie is when he goes to a realm of where the crows are at, which is basically like a warehouse where all these crows are like flying around, and he's this dude, and this dude explains to him what he has to do. Really? Like, he has to be told that he's going to go back to avenge his lost love? Like, geez, can't he just, like, know that? Like, in the original, yeah, I know, I'm comparing it, sue me. In the original, after Eric was taken, the movie takes place a year later after the events of what happened with him and Shelley. So he comes back to avenge his lost love, but it's like a year later. This movie here, he's gone back to avenge her maybe, like, within the first couple of hours. And he has to be told what to do. And the crow in this movie doesn't do a friggin' thing. It doesn't do anything. It's barely around. Like, when Eric goes to that realm where the warehouse is at and there's crows around, okay. But when he goes back to, like, the human realm, the crow's there, but the crow doesn't do nothing. It just, you might see it fly, and that's it. Like, in the original, the crow kind of told Eric what to do. Not talking to him, he just kind of just knew. When Eric first emerged back into the human world, he's emerging from his grave, and the crow shows up. And then the crow shows him, hey, look, you just got out of the grave, I know you're disoriented. Hey, look, there's boots over here. You want to get some boots? Gets boots. But the crow kind of just flies over there, and he just goes to where they are. The crow doesn't say, there's boots here, come this way. No, Eric kind of just knows, because the crow kind of just tells him. And when he goes after the people that hurt him and his wife, or his fiance, I should say, the crow like shows him in this trippy thing where like the crow will show him, okay, this is the guy you gotta take out, and it's like a weird black and white kind of like trippy thing. In this one here, the crow doesn't do anything. It doesn't show Eric what to do. Eric has to tell people, ask people where to go and what to do, and he's a wimp. Eric is a wimp. Okay, he's a wimp. And he has the healing factor, but the healing factor, there's like a 10-second cooldown, which is totally useless. He gets shot. He doesn't heal right away. There's like 5 or 6 seconds that it starts healing. How useful is that? Imagine. Oh, I got shot. Oh, hang on, I'm going to heal. Just give me a sec. Oh, I'm still bleeding. Hang on. Oh, God, that's hurt. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to heal. Just wait. It's going to kick in. Oh, it's still kicking. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Did it? Okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. No, 5 minutes. That's, we're good. We're good. Yeah. So it takes a while for the healing factor to kick in. And he's just a wimp, and he's like bumbling around. He doesn't know what he's doing, and and another thing I find is so funny was the first time Eric is like, he leaves the human world, he goes to where the crows are at. Guy tells him what to do. Here's your mission: avenge the ones that hurt you and your girlfriend. Go. Eric goes there, he messes up, he comes back to the guy again, and he's like, look, like this is what I'm supposed to do, and he's like, I'm not sure. And then he tells the guy that he's not sure if he likes Shelley anymore because he finds something out about Shelley that he doesn't like. I'm like, really? All of a sudden you're sent back to avenge her, and now you don't know if you love her. So like, what the heck? He's like, well, I don't know if I love her now. I don't know if I want to like do this. And you're like, what? And then he goes back, and then he comes back again for like 3 times, and the next time, and then the third time, the guy's like, okay, look. He's like, well, I don't know if I love her, but I want to save her anyway. And the guy's like, okay, and then he makes the symbol of the crow on his face and sends Eric on his way. But like, Eric has to go back like 3 times. It's ridiculous, And the villain in this movie, his name is Victor Rogue, and he supposedly made a deal with the devil or the Big D. I don't deal with the big. He's talked about in the Demon Mobile. I don't deal with the Big D. He's kind of like, I don't deal with that guy. But anyway, he makes a deal with the devil, so what he does is he just whispers stuff in people's ears, and they become like, they do something bad, and then their soul goes to the Big D. And yeah, that's his shtick. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's just written very bad, and he's not very that cool. He's just pretty much like a rich guy, like who goes to opera and stuff and drinks wine. Like there's nothing about the guy. I find he's a bit generic. And the movie just plods around. I just hated this. I was watching it going, man, this is not that good. Now, I'm not going to say it's all bad, because I have to say, the third time when Eric goes to the guy, and he says to him, okay, look, I'm going to exchange my soul for Shelley's. And he says, are you sure you want to do this? He's like, yes. And he sends Eric back. Finally, he gives Eric the vintage of the crow. Like, he actually has that crow thing. And he goes back. And finally, the third time, he finally gets it. And probably the best part in the whole movie, and, the only good part of the whole movie, to be honest with you, is when Eric attacks the opera house where he believes Vincent Rogue is at. And he goes in there, and the guards are there, and they're shooting him. But of course, he's invincible, so he takes the shots, but he keeps going. He has a katana and a pistol, and he's shooting, and he's sweating. That's the only good part, to be honest. I mean, when he's taking everybody out, that's actually pretty insane, because, he's invincible, and they're trying to shoot him, and he's getting hurt, but he's still going, and it's very graphic, too. It's like, holy God, at one point, he's cutting the guy, and he cuts the guy here, and the guy, I'm like, wow. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. But then he goes fights the villain at the end, and it's kind of anticlimactic. Like he fight, like he sends a guy there, and then the guy whispers in Eric's ear to do, that's his power, to try to get Eric to go to the bad side. But then Eric fights it off, and he throws him through a window, and they actually end up back at that friggin' warehouse with the crows again. And then he falls in water, and demons get the bad guy. That's what happens, honestly. And then because Eric exchanged his soul for Shelley's, Shelley is back to the human world. She's all good, but then Eric's stuck in that room with the crows. And there's almost like they're saying, oh, by the way, there's going to be a sequel. And, it kind of gives you that hint there's going to be a sequel, but there's no sequel. No one wants to see a sequel. No one wants to see this garbage. So I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So at the end of the day, is it the worst movie ever? No. But is it as good as The Crow? No. Is it good by itself? Ugh, I don't know. To each his own. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Oh. So that's me to you. Wait a minute! I forgot Jeff. Yes. Jeff. The skull of Jeff. The skull of Jeff. The skull of Jeff. Yes, indeed. I forgot. Indeed, the skull of Jeff. I should pick the next movie I'm watching this thing. Jeff hates it when I do that. It gets him all sick. Cool. Oh, yes, I forgot. Out of the Heads of Jeff 5, I read this movie, too. Hopefully I watch something better. Let's see what we got here. Woo! Look at that! All excited, all excited. That'll be good, that'll be good. Summer of Fear! See you soon, please.